10 minutes.
Holding my future in the palm of my hand. A verified movement, a signature of bone. I'm reclaiming the power of the heavy unknown. This is my proof of life. Forged in the struggle and the daily strife. I'm moving to earn, I'm learning to grow. From the top of the mountain to the valley below. It's a blockchain bond that you cannot break. My sweat is a currency. My life is a stake. Meant to milestone. Meant to pain. Nothing to lose and a world to gain. Immutable, verifiable, unstoppable. A song, soul, electric guitar, solo. Lots of bends and high notes, keeping that sun sticks and BPM energy high. This is my proof of life. Forged in the struggle and the daily strife. I'm moving to earn, I'm learning to grow. From the top of the mountain to the valley below. Earn your soul. Take control. The ledger is witness to the miles I've run. Proof of life. Verified. Verified. Yeah. sweat. A couple steps, you ain't dead yet. What you scared of? Them tennis shoes, that front door, or bad news. Got a couch, got your name on it. Got a remote and you're hanging on it. Got excuses stacked floor to ceiling, but deep down you know what you're feeling. Tick-tock clock keeps spinning. Life ain't waiting for your permission. What you scared of? Move your feet. What you waiting for? Hit the street. One more step, one more mile might just put a smile on your dial. What you scared of? Take a chance. Get up off that couch and dance. Move a little, live a little, laugh a little. Come on now. What you scared of? A little work, breaking the sweat, getting some dirt. What you scared of? Looking silly? Trust me, buddy, you ain't alone, really. Half the world's trying to get in shape, other half looking for an escape. Everybody's got some mountain to climb, might as well start one step at a time. What you scared of? Move your feet. What you waiting for? Hit the street. One more step, one more mile might just put a smile on your dial. What you scared of? Take a chance. Get up off that couch and dance. Move a little, live a little, laugh a little. Come on now. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Maybe you're scared you fail, maybe you're scared you quit, maybe you're scared you start and actually stick with it. Maybe you're scared to change, maybe that's what it is. Maybe the person you're becoming is bigger than where you've been. Hey! Who's afraid of a little movement? Hey! Who's afraid of a better life? Hey! Who's afraid of feeling stronger? Not me, not tonight. What you scared of? Move your feet. What you waiting for? Hit the street. One more step, one more mile. Living life in your own style. What you scared of? Nothing now. Got your heartbeat pumping loud. Move a little, mind a little, live a little. Come on now. What you scared of? What you scared of? What you scared of? Nothing. Now move.
All right, all right. I want to welcome everybody to our Thursday night MoveQuest community call. I hope everybody's been having a wonderful week thus far. Many of you have, and I welcome and I thank each and every one of you. The response for those that are signing up for the Noticeable Change Challenge, the numbers continue to grow each and every day, which tells me that we have a community of individuals that are truly about changing something in their overall health and wellness. And I couldn't be more excited to see what this next 90 days or so are going to actually look like. I just want to make sure that we know that anybody in the community, anybody that you know outside of the community is more than welcome to actually join the MoveQuest Challenges Noticeable Change Challenge. All right. Along just to kind of give everybody an idea of what we're looking at over the course of the next 90 some odd days is when people join this challenge, they are making a decision for themselves about themselves and identifying something that they would like to change. It could be a habit, it could be something, visual, it could be endurance, it can be how, getting their high blood pressure, their sugar levels, anything. Every individual has the ability to choose what that is and put forth the effort to make a positive change with that over the course of the time of this challenge. The goal here is multifold, to be honest, but one of the goals is most of us already know the things that we need to do, But for, a lot of times we all get a little sedentary, get a little lazy, or whatever the case may be. So the community is here to add a little bit extra motivation. That's one. Then there's some individuals that may not actually know what to do, what steps to take in order to achieve the goals that they're trying to achieve. And by you sharing your journey, the things that you're doing to achieve your goal, believe it or not, there's someone else that's trying to achieve the same or something very similar that can learn and be inspired by the actions that you're actually taking and be able to make a positive change in what they are wanting to, fix or improve upon themselves. And it actually helps the engagement throughout the community, and it shows other people outside of the community the strengths of what having a bond like this and a cohesive, you know, um, direction can actually do for individuals. So please, if there's anyone that you know that's not already in the challenge, or if you have not signed up for the challenge, there's something that everybody wants to change. And you can simply go to movequestchallenges.com, click the noticeable change challenge sign up. If you're on the website, or if it doesn't show right here because of the size of your screen, you can hit more and it'll appear here. And if you are on a mobile phone, you can just simply click the hamburger symbol that'll show in either in the top left or right, depending on your device, and hit the drop down, and you can join the challenge as well. Over the course of the next 90 days, you may find some smaller challenges within the larger challenge. Again, to make it that much more fun and motivating for more and more people to stay engaged and increase their activity levels. You may see, special calls for with specialists from different walks of life, whether that be nutrition, whether that be fitness, whether that be medical, or whatever the case may be. This is designed to help elevate and educate each and every person in this community, and we are excited to see what it has in store. And hopefully it kickstarts or ignites a continuation after the 90 days and makes it easier for people to carry it on and make it a lifestyle, because MoveQuest in and of itself is a lifestyle community. So with that being said, we are here yet again on Thursday night for our education slash update information call. And before we get started, I do see we have Mr. Hayden Andrade in the house with us this evening. Mr. Hayden, how are you doing, sir?
I am doing fantastic, Herschel Crow. How is everything going on your side? Can you hear me okay?
Wonderful, loud and clear, sir.
All right, beautiful. Hey, listen, man, it's always super cool hanging out with all of the A players and champions, in cyberspace on a Thursday night. So that being said, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another special Thursday night edition of the MoveQuest Community Call event. Now, this is Hayden Andre, your friendly neighborhood digital asset investor. You know me, I am always live and energized, laser focused on success. Happy FIFA World Cup 2026 to all my football fans out there. The amount of technology that is being used this year is absolutely impressive. Science fiction is a living reality these days, and it makes you feel real good to be going in hard with success in Web3, digital assets, and blockchain. Now, for those of you who are meeting me for the very first time tonight, welcome to MoveQuest. Make sure that you set a reminder on your calendar. Super Saturday, June 13th, 2026 at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to keep an eye on the social media channels, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, you name it. Super Saturday is designed to create the space for existing and new MoveQuest participants to connect to an environment focused on success and helping the MoveQuest community learn more about various different moving parts of the project and maximize the results in the MoveQuest experience. As you can imagine, mindset is super important when it comes to achieving ultra high levels of success. And simplicity and enrollment are high priority focuses right now. And you're definitely going to receive some insights regarding this on Saturday. Super Saturday overview and training, Saturday, June the 13th, 2026. Mark it on the calendar. Machine mode is in full effect all day, every day. Stay focused, everyone. Stay rich, max out, and level up. Herschel, it's all yours.
All right, all right. Thank you for that, Hayden. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead and bring the lady of the hour to the table. To some, I was finna say she needs no introduction, but we're going to introduce her anyway. Miss Lynette Arden. How are you doing this evening, ma'am?
You're doing great. I'm still like multitasking, so I was over on another screen, and I'm like, oh shoot, I have to unmute. All right, so what everybody's been waiting for, right? The mining pool. So that is what I'm going to show you tonight as soon as I can get back over. It'll be a short call tonight because I'm going to meet with Waleed again right after, so he can get all the details and get it finished up. So as you guys know, sometimes it takes me a minute to get all the calculations and algorithms down, but so there will not be here. Okay, so let me talk about the pools first. Let me go right over to the spreadsheet so I can show you guys the front end. One of the things I really want to go over, and I'm not sure if I really want to wait till Tuesday, so I may hold another Zoom yet this week because I really want to wrap all this stuff up, let you guys understand everything. I've got several things that hopefully Waleed will be able to add to the dashboard so you guys can kind of calculate, what you can do with the hatchery. One thing with MoveQuest, okay, so we're not your typical project where we tell you, okay, so you come over here and you do XYZ and you're going to get an ROI of this percentage. Everything that you do here, it depends on your miner power and the proof of physical activity, how much movement you do in a day. Obviously, the more you move, the more mining hashes that you can generate, the higher powered your miners. Also increases those hashes that you're generating to mine the MoveQuest. But then when you get your MoveQuest, if you enter into one of the tier's hatcheries, then you have a compounding effect, daily compounding, where you're farming more MQT. So what I want to put together is a calculator for the community so you can not speculate, but you'll be able to project based on community engagement, community growth, the type of miners that you have, the amount of movement that you do, how much MoveQuest could you mine or could you farm. And I think that'll be really helpful. So I want to try to, get all that stuff ready for everybody this week. I'm getting ready to do some paid marketing campaigns just to kind of test the waters and see, how that goes. So I want the community to be able to understand, how you benefit here and how all of the engagement within the ecosystem funds your project, right? For the market value and then also the liquidity. Now, talking about the pools, okay, we were going to have the one that would make it basically there would be the original pool and then a 6-level pool. But the more and more I worked on that and I run so many different scenarios, here's what would end up happening. People that are in the hatchery would submit on the pool they needed to for the hatchery, and those that aren't in the hatchery would submit in the other pool. So now you've got 2 mining pools that are competing with each other. So we don't want that. We want it to all work seamlessly, right? You mine and then you farm. And with MoveQuest, farming is a little bit different because in the crypto world, mining and farming are sometimes the same thing, right? It's kind of used for the same activity. But with MoveQuest, it's different. Your physical activity is mining the MoveQuest. You either buy MoveQuest or you mine it to deposit it into the hatchery so that you can compound on a daily basis from your new balance. So let's say you started out with 50 MQT in the hatchery and today you farmed one. That means that tomorrow you are going to farm based on 51 MQT, not your original 50. Okay, so and it's automated in there. So it automatically adds what you farmed today into tomorrow's balance for tomorrow's farming. But you have to submit that proof of physical activity. Okay, it's not a passive farming, okay, like your other projects are doing. That would be your more speculative kind of project. Here, if you don't submit that proof of physical activity, if you're not engaged in the ecosystem, you're not farming and you're not mining. You have to be engaged and you have to participate in the ecosystem. And how you do that is by submitting that proof of physical activity. The hatchery is perfect for, there's a lot of people that aren't physically able to go out and do the 12,000 steps. Many of us are very capable of going out and doing those 12,000 steps, but we don't do it, right? And then there's a lot of people that do go out and they get the 12,000 steps. That's great because now you're able to mine on 6 levels of pools. But in the hatchery, how many steps you take a day or how many workouts you get in or how many calories you burned or the distance that you traveled in your steps or your sleep hours, those don't matter in the hatchery. What matters is that you did validate that proof of physical activity from mining for the farming rewards. That way we don't have the passive earning. Why is that important? Because if you have an individual who just goes to the market, and let's say they buy 1,000 MQT, they deposit it into tier 4 or tier 5, but they're not actively engaged in the ecosystem. They're not contributing to that liquidity pool. And so they're farming MoveQuest without any engagement. They're not mining it. They're just in it as like a passive investment. Okay. And MoveQuest is not that. So in order to farm, you have to be actively engaged within the ecosystem because you're building that future depth and that liquidity pool. You're building that market value and you're helping to sustain it because you're actively engaged. But even more important, you're becoming very healthy. And you guys, we have proof. Hundreds of people that have sent in their testimonials, some written, some recorded, some of it just through the different social media platforms, where they go out and they post there the weight they've lost, medications that they're no longer on, bad heart. Now their heart is better, healthier. That's all positive things that have happened from people that are engaged with MoveQuest. MoveQuest motivates you to move more, and it really does motivate you to do that. I know people aren't happy with the market value of the token. We have a very small community that's an outstanding market value. You've got projects that have hundreds of thousands and millions of people, and they haven't even reached a penny yet. Okay, we have a very solid market value with an extremely small community. We're just now wrapping up our roadmap. We're wrapping up challenges and the leasing. That'll be done here in a very short time. Roadmap 1 is done, so we can go and not finish, but focus on, the roadmap 2.0. And with that, we really want to have all the marketing done, ready to go. We want to have our community right now completely informed. We also want to make it affordable through growth. Okay. Now, with a small community to maintain a decent market value, of course, the fees on the submissions and whatnot, not everybody liked them. Some people didn't care. Some people had, found the value in it, long-term value. We can't please everybody. This is all math. Okay. And it's all based on algorithms and it's all based on an ecosystem, stabilizing the ecosystem. There's so many things that play into this project to make it long term. There's no investors here. There are no, give us 10,000 MoveQuest tokens and we're going to invest $2 million, or give us 5,000 MoveQuest tokens, and we're going to be 5 influencers. I'm going to bring 5 influencers into the project, and we're going to bring 100,000 people in. Nothing like that has happened. There has been no allocation of MoveQuest per the light paper and the tokenomics. Everybody's either mined it or farmed it. So the numbers are real, and it makes this project amazing beyond your imagination. And with the small community that we have, it's already amazing. Okay, honestly, beyond all of your imagination, even if you don't realize it right now. We're also programmed that everything has to happen instantly, has to happen right now. And if you've been in the crypto world, those are the projects that also come and go just as quickly, right? They come in fast, they bring in a lot of people fast, they bring in tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, and they fail, and everybody's lost that money. Okay, that is not what this project is. And we're on year 4. August, we'll be celebrating our 4th year of developing this project and our 2nd year on the Avalanche blockchain. So, wrapping up and looking forward to a very eventful summer, I'm going to explain to you how these pools are going to work. There will only be the one pool. It will be 6 levels. To qualify for the farming rewards in the hatchery, you have to submit on all 6 levels. Okay, that's how you qualify for the hatchery. Why are we doing it that way? Because we don't want to compete with 2 different pools. Okay. None of these pools, it does not matter if you're mining with 1 miner or if you're mining with 18 miners. It's submission per doc. Your miners matter because the more miners you have, the more mining power you have. It doesn't matter if you're mining with 1 or if you're mining with 18 when it comes to your submission fee. So undocking or docking, it will have nothing to do with increasing or lowering your submission fee. And each level, the fee is the same no matter what type of miner you're using. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you're mining with a navigator, it doesn't matter if you're mining with a Titan. Every miner has the same fee right across the board on all levels. So you can dock your best miners, you can dock your highest powered miners. It won't matter because it doesn't affect that proof of physical activity submission fee. Every single person will have the same proof of physical activity fee, regardless of the type of miner or how many. Okay, it's based on the doc and the wallet. All right. So to start out, just to give you an idea, level 1, it starts out with a lower rate. Okay, not everybody is going to be in the hatchery. Not everybody is in the hatchery. Okay, so if you're not in the hatchery, then you can submit on any, you have to start out at level 1. If you want to submit on level 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, you can, but you don't have to go all the way through. Now, once I get done calculating the numbers and everything finalized with Waleed and we run the final test, we may say, okay, to qualify, you have to at least submit through level 4. Okay, we may not, but right now, for the sake of, I don't like the over promise, under deliver. So what I'm going to do is say all 6 levels. But then over the next couple of days, when we're finishing this up, we may come back and say, okay, to qualify for the hatchery, you have to at least submit levels 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Reason being, we want to make sure that you're actively engaged in the mining side of the project. The mining and the farming go hand in hand, and you still have to be actively contributing to the ecosystem. And those hatcheries, they are amazing. All right. You can really compound some amazing MQT over there in the hatchery. So if you're not in the hatchery, I would suggest it doesn't cost you anything. You're already submitting that proof of physical activity. Roll your MQT into the hatchery if you don't have any plans of selling it anytime soon, and let your MQT grow so that you have more of them when we launch the blockchain and challenges and the leasing and all that good stuff. So level 1 right now, this is the current price per doc, 3 cents. Level 2, 9 cents. Level 3, 18 cents. Level 4, 29 cents. Okay, these are per dock. All right. And then down here is a cumulative. 35 cents on level 5, 41 cents on level 6. So if you were doing level 1 and 2, it would cost you 12 cents. If you're doing level 1, 2, and 3, it would cost you 29 cents. If you're doing levels 1 through 4, it would cost you 59 cents. If you're doing levels 1 through 5, it would cost you 94 cents. And if you're doing levels 1 through 6, it would cost you $1.36. All right. That's at our current market value. So as more people, now this is based on just 1,000 submissions, where that comes in or is important is the amount of MQT that will be going into circulation. We really want to see the community grow, and we really want to make sure that there's MQT available as we're growing, right? So level 1, its max emission, or the amount that it can distribute at that level, is 92.43 MQT per day. Level 2, 277. Level 3, 369. Level 4, 739. Level 5, 924. And level 6, 1,109. Okay, that's each level. So as we're growing, that amount of MoveQuest would be able to be mined. Currently, right now, 3,512 out of the 7,200 can be mined. And actually, it's 3,697, but the original pool is still figured into that. So I have to take the original pool out and add it in. So it would actually increase these values just a little bit. And then based on submissions, the amount of MoveQuest that would be mined in each pool is right. So based on 1,000, only 5 would come out of level 1. Only 15 in level 2, 30 level 3, 50 level 4, 60 level 5, and 70 level 6. Now, what this does is it allows the ecosystem now to help the market value go up, because there's not so many going into circulation where the depth isn't. It is important, but not critical. Now, if that increases to 2,500, you can see the amount of MoveQuest that's being mined on a daily basis is going to increase. Now, it doesn't really change the amount of the submission yet, because the market value is going up as well as the community is growing, and it does factor into the liquidity depth. However, I still have to finish up that last little sheet that I'm working on. I'm almost done with it. And once that's done, then those figures will come in, and it'll give a better value on these down here. Now, if we were to community, 5,000 users submitting, you'll notice that the amount of MoveQuest that's being mined is going up. The submissions themselves haven't started to decrease yet. Now, as we get, I'll put in 7,500. You can still see here, the amounts are going up. This hasn't changed. So what does it take? Let's go up to 10,000 users submitting. And we still haven't maxed out. These still haven't changed, the fees. Now we'll hit it up to 15,000. Okay, now you'll see the fees are starting to come down just a tad. So it went down to 132 versus 136. Now, if you take it up to 25,000 users in the community, all 6 levels, even with Titans, would only cost 83 cents a day. Okay, that's 25,000 people in our community who are actively mining. Now, if we were to take this up to 50,000 people, you see how the fees begin to drop. So as the community grows, the submission fees begin to decrease. Level 1 is only paying a penny. Level 2, 4 cents, 9 cents, 17, 28, and 41. You get it up to 100,000 users, and you're looking at a full dock of Titans only being 21 cents, a full dock of Navigators, 21 cents, full dock of Trailblazers, Explorers, Vanguards, 21 cents for a full dock. So you're looking at the cost going down, but the market value is going up. So why can the cost come down on the proof of physical activity? Remember, 90% stays in the ecosystem. So you've got 100,000 people. If at the very minimum, they meant 18 trailblazers and dock 18 trailblazers, that is per person $3,600. That's paired to $3,600 worth of MoveQuest. So you got 7,200 minus 950 because of the 50% direct commission. So you're looking at about 6,150 per person that's going into the liquidity. So if you were to take that 100,000 people times that by 6,150, that's $615 million that's sitting in the liquidity pool. Okay, that stabilizes your market value without you having to spend crazy amounts of money in submission fees. With 90% of everything that the community spends within the ecosystem staying in the liquidity, it stabilizes it, it builds the depth, and it lowers your fees, okay, on that proof of physical activity. We have not just the minting and the unlocking of the dock slots. You've got the incubator, you've got the boost, we've got the challenges, we have the leasing, we have the blockchain, we've got the MQT pay. We have all of this other utility on the use of that MoveQuest that contributes also to the liquidity pool. So as the community is growing, your proof of physical activity submission fees begin to really drop drastically. Now, I know you're all looking forward to that, but there's one thing you got to keep in mind. The market value is crazy at that point, all right? And everybody's making amazing money. And it's being sustained through the ecosystem because 90% stays with you. Plus, we've got, in August, we'll have over 4 million MQT tokens sitting in the liquidity pool vault. Okay, that's huge. As the market value is going up, it takes less of that MoveQuest to add to the liquidity pool. This is when you're mining the most MQT and the farming as well. Because as it starts to recycle, and only 70 up to 75% can be renewed inside the hatchery. We haven't started that yet, but as we begin to grow, we will do that so that new people are able to stake and farm their MQT as well. Now, as we grow and as more MoveQuest is coming into the ecosystem, we'll be able to being circulated. Great. More people, more circulation. We'll be able to increase those hatchery max values. And also remember that in 2 years, we have a halving. When that halving takes place, it won't be 7,200 MoveQuests a day. It would be a max of 3,600 MoveQuests per day. It will also cut the hatchery rewards in half because there won't be 3,500 a day that can be farmed. It will be half of that. So it would be like 1,750 or something like that that would be able to be farmed per day. This right now is your best time to capture as much of that MoveQuest as you possibly can. This isn't a get rich quick scheme, okay? This isn't one of your projects where you've got to get in and be the first in so you can get the best placement and you want to exit just as fast, okay? It doesn't work like that. MoveQuest is nothing similar to any of those things. This is that long-term longevity project. It's got all the utility, it's got all the bells and the whistles, and it's got the blockchain and all these other mechanics that might confuse people, but it's what gives this project the power that it has. And so those of you who feel like, well, it's taken a long time, it really hasn't taken a long time to build the project the right way. Okay. You should really be concerned when projects come up in 30 days and really be concerned when they're down 6 months later and you've got nothing to look forward to. for a project to still be just getting started after 4 years is almost not seen. Not not what people are quickly jumping into and then trying to escape from just as fast. So MoveQuest is not that project. And I'm glad we're not that project, right? I don't want to be that project. We want to be the norm, right? For other projects to follow and go, okay, this is what we're here for. We're really here to build a solid crypto project that solves a real world problem. What is MoveQuest's mission and what do we solve? That get up and move and stop living that sedentary lifestyle and pay yourself. Okay. Every time you mint a miner, you evolve a miner, you unlock a doc slot, you boost, you get those Q chips, you record it to the MoveQuest blockchain, all of those things, when we deploy that blockchain, you are rewarding yourself. And the longer that you bank up those MoveQuest tokens or the more MoveQuest tokens that you have, the bigger the check you're writing yourself for getting healthy and becoming more fit. I'm not paying you to walk. You're rewarding yourself. And you determine how lucrative that reward is going to be based on the amount of MoveQuest that you collect and what market value you're looking for before you want to convert or sell any of those. So hopefully you guys love what the pool is. Oh, let me just kind of scroll down and I can show you current market value at 590. My biggest goal with the proof of physical activity submissions was to quit hearing people say, I'm not in profit today. Okay, geez, I wish everything that I did in my life put me in profit today. That's not reality. But the way that I counter that is by releasing less MoveQuest into the system. You can get more of it on the upper tiers, and you can, capitalize on that in the hatch rate by compounding your amount of MoveQuest that you have in the hatcheries that you're farming from, right? But the actual release of the MoveQuest based on the size of the community will shrink. You want to utilize the hatchery, but as the community grows, more MQT is going to be released. So the current market value, which this is actually higher than what it is right now because I hadn't updated this probably in a week or so. But even if you're mining with all navigators, the average mining yield for a year, okay, this is if you're at least getting between 7,500 to 10,000 steps in a day and averaging. Now, if you guys are going on a walk, start your workout on your fitness tracker. So if you're almost maxing out, this would be the average that a navigator would make. So after your proof of physical activity fees, if you only mined on level 1, and for a Phantom, a Trailblazer, they're the same. Explorer, and I'm going to bring this up. I don't know how well you guys can see this or not, but let me just kind of pull it up here a little bit. There we go. Level 2, if you're mining with Titans, after your fees, okay, you're looking at about $267. Okay, not great, right? Because this is our community not growing. Okay, this is saying that we still only have, bump that back down to 1,000. There we go. I knew something was wrong there. Okay, navigators are not in profit. Sorry. I knew when I seen them, like, okay, no, row 1. Okay, $808.65. You'd be in the hole a little bit your first year navigators. Okay, but navigators only have 50% mining power or 50 volts per. Titans, 232 if all you did was level 1 and 2. And if you did all 6 levels, you would be in profit at the current market value. Okay, this is suggesting that we will only have 1,000 people in our community submitting. and the market value will stay between the $5.35 and the $5.90 mark for the next year. But as you can see, anywhere from Phantom to Titan, after your proof of physical activity fees, there's nothing red there unless you're a navigator. Now, if we grow and we have a community of just 25,000 people, we're looking at a market value of around $3,000. How do I know this? Well, and I haven't finished it yet, but you guys will see it soon. I think it's growth chart 2. Let me see. Nope, it's right here. Okay. I am figuring out what all the levels of the fees are and what this would be. All right. If just we grew by 10 people per day, that would be adding 9,000, 17,000. Okay, so 17, what is that? $26,000 a day into the liquidity pool. That's a lot. And it would pay out $9,000, actually $9,500 in commissions, right? Direct commission, because it does have an affiliate, one level direct commission that it pays out. So every day, if we the community grew by 10 people, that's $26,000 per day that immediately goes in to the liquidity pool from that growth. Now, the other thing you have to look at too, let me see. This is not even including the match from the liquidity vault. So you've got 17,000 plus 9,000, so that's 26,000 plus matched to $26,000. Actually, $52,000 a day that's going into the liquidity pool. You guys think about it. That's 10, we grow by 10 people per day. And that's going to add over $50,000 in liquidity. Why? Because you've got 4 million MQT tokens sitting in the liquidity vault as of August 1st. That belongs to the community's ecosystem. Those can never be sold. They have to go into the liquidity pool, which means they have to be bought before they can be sold. That's just 10 people per day. So reaching that market value and having it stable is extremely doable. Okay, this is math. This is real math. This isn't trumped up numbers, throwing a percentage at you, winging it. This is real algorithms, real math, 90% staying with the economy, but a backup as of August 1st. Right now, it's got 2 point something million MoveQuest tokens. And then once everything reconciles for the final August 1st date, it'll have 4 million MoveQuest tokens sitting in that liquidity vault. You take the 90% plus what's already banked, it's actually adding 180% into the liquidity. That's what growth does for this project. Now, if there's no growth, you don't see that, right? You see a stable market value. You're not going to see, 6,615 million. You're not going to see that going in to the liquidity. What you see is an ecosystem that's stabilizing itself based on what the community is doing. With a community this small, you really shouldn't be selling any of your MoveQuest. That's not advice, that's just common sense. Because if there's not, until the marketing gets started and until the growth starts coming, you don't have a demand for the MoveQuest token. So why would you sell it? Anybody that thinks logically with a business mind knows you don't sell something if there's nobody there with that demand, right? That's what we're doing right now. We spent 4 years on all the development. We're just now getting ready to rev up the marketing and really get out there and push this. That's those of you who are holding that MoveQuest, that demand is there and that market value is going up. That's when you want to sell. But if you sell before then you're getting a low market value. So if you're not in profit, that's your fault. It's not the algorithm and the ecosystem. It's because you sold before the demand was there. That's just me just telling you common sense stuff, right? You make the decisions. You don't request a withdrawal from me or anybody else. This is a project that's completely managed by smart contracts. That means everything's already escrowed. So when you submit the proof of physical activity and you mine your MQT, all you do is claim it. It makes a call to the contract and it's immediately sent to you. Everything's done instantly and in real time. You don't have to, like all your other projects you go into, you get a dashboard, you go in and you have to submit a request. Then you have to hope that somebody on the other side of the computer didn't spend what was supposed to be your mind MoveQuest or any of that stuff and kind of on your honor thing, and that they're going to approve it so that you can get whatever money that they tell you you have sitting there, right? It's not like that here. Everything's recorded to the blockchain. Everything is done instantly and in real time. You click a button, you're making a call to a smart contract, whether it's submitting proof of physical activity, minting a miner. We don't have an inventory of them. It's done instantly and in real time, recorded to the blockchain. And that's why you have a DApp wallet. You are in full control. So when somebody says, well, I'm not in profit today, well, that's because people aren't looking at this project and really understanding the power behind it. Because if you were, you'd be holding on to those MQT tokens of yours, and that demand, when it's there, that's when you'd want to sell them. And if you do it the right way, you can pretty much an 80-20, right? Hold on to 80%, sell 20% a week. And when it reaches a certain market value, you'll be able to live on it. You guys, people do it every day with crypto. Look at Bitcoin. All right. You got your silly people that sell it right now. I mean, there's plenty of people that are way over in profit, right? But when you were looking at it at $8, $20, you guys, Bitcoin had such a hard time getting up in market value. One, too many were going into circulation. There wasn't a demand for it, right? Especially when it's new. 7,200 Bitcoin going out every single day was too many. We use the same halving schedule, we use the same max supply, but we have a dynamic emission rate based on the supply and the demand and the size of the community. That way you don't have, the next 10 years trying to get up to that $100 or $200 or $300 mark. There's not enough of it in circulation. There's 180,000 MoveQuest tokens in circulation, and there's 1 million sitting in the hatchery. That's pretty powerful when you think about it. That's a community of people that get it, right? Especially those of you that are in the hatchery. So the mining pool, when you get down here to future market value, right? You guys, $3,000 market value. Okay, 25,000. Let's take it down to what? Let's just say 10,000. All right. And that's a $600 market value. Well, maybe you guys don't even believe that. Let's just say 5,000 users. 5,000 users join our MoveQuest community. We'll take the market value to $198. Okay, now you come down to that future market value. I mean, you Titans, 60 grand a year just from becoming healthy. And navigators, 7,000. Look at phantoms who didn't even have to pay for those miners. 14,000, trailblazers, 14,000, navigator or explorers, 22, and vanguards, 29. That's after your proof of physical activity submission fees. So now do you guys really want to see what it would look like at 25,000 users? They're just mining with trailblazers, all right? These figures are based on just a trailblazer. Not navigators, we don't offer them anymore, but people have them. And we don't want to give you, I don't want to base any of our algorithms on the Titans because not everybody is going to mine with Titans. So we use the trailblazer as our base, right? And this is all based on minting 18 trailblazers, docking 18 trailblazers, and submitting on a daily basis. That's what this is based on. You Titans would be able to mine, and what you mined over at the average Titan, what they mine based on the 600, that's the $3,000 market value. That's almost $1 million. Okay, that's a tiny community of 25,000 people. That is a small community of people in the crypto world. You get these shit show projects that get 100,000, 200,000 people, and they only last for 3 or 4 months. Okay. This is something that's sustainable. Why? Because 90% of everything you spend stays in the ecosystem, plus it gets matched with another 90% because we've got millions of MoveQuest tokens sitting in the liquidity vault that the ecosystem has purchased. That's huge. So when the ecosystem buys them off the market, or if it absorbs them, or through market corrections, that is future stability in this project's liquidity pool. And so when somebody is mining $1 million worth of MoveQuest tokens at $3,000, that liquidity pool, even at just the current 2.1 million. Okay, so let's take that. Let's say this equals we'll just say 2 million MoveQuest tokens. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to times that by 3, the $3,000 market value. That liquidity vault is holding on to, let me give you guys a text that you can read, $6 billion. That's what the value of that MoveQuest tokens that are sitting in that liquidity vault will be valued at. Okay, that's just 2 million. And the vault already has that 2 million sitting there. Over the last 2 years, it's purchased and absorbed that. When people spend MQT to mint miners, it goes in the liquidity vault, not my pocket. When people unlock doc slots, that MQT they use, it goes into the liquidity vault. It's not my pocket. It doesn't pay for marketing. It doesn't pay developers, designers, core team, admin, customer support. Not one single MoveQuest. It goes into the liquidity vault. It's your future liquidity. That's what that MoveQuest in that liquidity vault is worth. Okay, now, when you're mining that amount of MoveQuest every single day, or mining your MoveQuest every day, you're doing your proof of physical activity submissions. That's liquidity. And so it just continues to deepen that liquidity pool. So every time somebody joins the community, that liquidity vault is matching it. So when we started out with the ecosystem only getting 90% of what you spend anywhere in the ecosystem, now the ecosystem has gotten so strong that it gets to match it. So now instead of 90%, it's 180%. Why is that strong? Because you want to be able to sell your MoveQuest and make $1 million a year. It only takes 12,000 people, or 10, what was that up there? 25,000 people to reach that market value with mega liquidity sitting there. So the last 2 years, while people thought, oh, MoveQuest isn't really worth it, they didn't get it. Because the last 2 years has been priming this ecosystem to be exactly where it's at today. And when that growth hits, those of you that got it, you're sitting in a very wonderful spot. Okay, those aren't useless projections. Those aren't speculative values. That's algorithmic math based on real growth and 90% of everything you spend staying in your ecosystem being matched with another 90% that we've all spent the last 2 years building up. So pretty powerful. Hopefully you guys absolutely love the dynamic mining pool, how it is set up. And hopefully, you guys are going to see the value in that hatchery and you'll start locking up those tokens that are sitting in your wallet and renew them. You guys get your hatcheries renewed, because once we get done with the pools, the hatchery is going to also, if those of you that are just sitting there, you're taking space and you're not farming MQT if you haven't renewed. There are people waiting to get into those tiers. And so you're doing a disservice to the community who's waiting to get in to those hatcheries. So if your cards come due, and you don't renew and you're just sitting in there to hold your spot for whatever reason, because it makes no sense to just sit there and not farm, you're going to be, the system is going to put you into a holding status, right? And somebody else will be able to come in and farm, and you'll have to wait until there's room for you to renew. So I don't know how many days that the contract is going to give. It'll probably be 30 days or something like that. So if you haven't renewed within 30 days of your cards maturing, then the contract would look at yours as not being a part of the count in that hatchery. So you want to go in, you want to renew your hatchery. And if there's not room for your rewards, that's okay. Put them in the nest and get into tier 1 or 2 that is open so that you can still be farming something. Or we may, in that holding tank, have a small rate of farming while you're waiting for space and room. I'll let you know that in a few days too when I'm done with those numbers. But that's what I got for tonight, everybody. Hopefully you guys are excited. I'm excited to finally be wrapping this up. You guys have no idea the brain power that it takes to do all this stuff and make sure that it all works and that there's no like kink in the chain somewhere that's going to cause a conflict down the road. Sometimes I just have to shut my computer and go, okay, I got to give my head a break because it feels like it's going to explode. So sometimes it does take me longer than I like. But if I work on it and I can't come to a conclusion or finish something, I just end up messing things up. So I'm glad you guys have been patient. It'll be well worth it.
Don't stop sharing. Don't stop sharing. I know you'll click that button. See that? I pull it back.
Oh, yes, I was.
Don't stop sharing, because here's a question. We got 2 of them that's basically the same. In that spreadsheet
Okay.
that you were just showing on the mining pool, is just for clear clarification for everyone. In that spreadsheet for the mining pool, you're showing it will cost $1.36 for a full dock. I mean, 18 miners docked. And the person is asking if they have, is that for one miner on to submit for each of the 6 levels? Is that for one miner, or is it actually $1.36 for all 18?
All 18. So it's not a per miner anymore. It's per dock.
And
So
just
if
for
you're mining
clarification,
with
when we say
one,
dock, when you say dock, you mean for one account, right?
yep, one mining dock, one account. So if you're mining with one on all 6 levels, it's $1.36. If you're mining with 18 on all 6 levels, it's $1.36.
So that's for Drake and Mr. Drake, and for Beth, it's $1.36 for all 18 miners on all 6 levels, and it is not multiplied times 18. So it would not be
Right. That's
$24.30 a day or whatever that number is. No, $1.36.
oh,
Go ahead.
yep, what I want to get away from is this. So here's what happens, right? The Titans, as we're moving into all the other ecosystem, especially once we deploy the blockchain and all these other pieces of the utility challenges and whatnot, it doesn't make sense anymore to do it based on your mining power. Everybody's got the same ability to evolve their miners or to level up, and all the giveaways and the promotions and everything that we've done. There's really no reason why anybody would just be mining with navigators through over the last 2 years. So what we really want people to focus on is we want the mining power to give you more value in your mining, right? We don't want it to affect the submission. We don't want Titans to have to carry navigators because the Titans have spent $800 per Titan unless they got them through a promotion, because there's a lot of Titans that went out that didn't cost you anything if you unlock back slots and things like that. Remember different promotions that we've run, but majority of people spent $800 per Titan, and they've spent more money on their submission fees. So the community carries each other. It doesn't, the Titans don't carry the Navigators, or the Vanguards carry the Explorers, or whatever, however you want to, visualize what I'm trying to say. It is your mining dock. It's each dock has the same submission fee per level, regardless of what you're mining with. It doesn't matter if you're mining with a Navigator or a Trail or a Titan. It doesn't matter if you're mining with 1 or if you're mining with 18. So you can mine with as many as you want. It won't affect your proof of physical activity fee. You can mine with all Titans, and it's not going to change the fee. You can mine with all Navigators. It's not going to change the fee. By giving you 6 levels, you get to determine how far up the levels in the pool you want to go. That's kind of where the mining difficulty also plays in, right? The more people who are mining, of course, the more proof of physical activity submissions and the more liquidity, whatnot. But if you're somebody that can mine, and you can, this is 3 cents per dock. Okay, level 1 doesn't give out a lot of MQT, but you're still mining. And when MoveQuest gets to be $3,000, $5,000, it doesn't take much to get up into the 6 digits at all. And I'm not going to show those numbers tonight, but it doesn't take much. Now, when you're looking at 100,000 people, 200,000 people, let me just kind of give you an idea of what, let's say 250,000 people, what that looks like market value. I don't even know if we have enough MoveQuest. We don't even have enough MoveQuest in circulation right now to accommodate that. The market value would be insane. 100,000 people will take MoveQuest up to $52,000. And I've even padded the pool. Okay, I've padded the pool so that the market value is much lower than what it really is. And I'll show you what I did with that. I went to, I have to go to market there. That's not the one. Okay, I'm saying that the liquidity pool right now has 159,000 MQT and 1 million USDT. Because as the community grows, what's in the coffers will add this into the liquidity pool. So I can safely say this is what the pool will have. So I've pre-padded it based on what the ecosystem could put in there right now today. Okay. It doesn't, because when people sell large amounts, the ecosystem wants that market value to drop because the demand isn't there yet. All right. That's part of the algorithm. Let the market value drop so that the ecosystem can absorb the MoveQuest, put it into the liquidity vault, and then add in more liquidity. Once that growth is there, then they would inject it like crazy. All right. And you would see a lot bigger liquidity pool. So that market value is actually padded because it would add that in if we just all of a sudden jumped up and had that 100,000. But you would see a market value much higher than this. So I wanted to pre-pad it for the market value so that it didn't go crazy overboard with what's there. So that's 100,000 people, $52,000, okay, market value. Now you're looking at Titans who are only mining 443 MoveQuest tokens a year with a market value of $23 million. Nobody's going to go and sell all that right at the time. You're also looking at a liquidity vault that's got $105 billion waiting to be paired to USDT. It's got, you guys have no idea how stable the project is. You're looking at 100,000 people coming in, times that by the $56,000, right, per 10 people. So you'd want to take 100,000, divide it by 10, multiply it by 50, I think we said 54,000. It would be whatever, $54,000, $56,000 because of what the ecosystem matches to the Trailblazer minting and the dock slots unlocking. And that gives you that liquidity. Now, would it drop the market value at 23 million? Yeah, it would drop the market value. But if you're a Titan and you've got 443 MQT and it's got a value of $56,000, nobody goes and sells 443 Bitcoin unless they're crazy or unless they're sitting on a whole lot more Bitcoin, right? They don't just go sell out their whole bag of Bitcoin. I don't know of anybody. I know a lot of people that hold Bitcoin that have ever done that. Not now. Back in the day, yeah, but not now. But imagine if that's what, and you lived on an 80/20, you just sold 20% of your MoveQuest on a yearly basis. And that's 100,000 people. Okay, now you guys have seen the projects with 100,000 people. These are real mathematical numbers based on what the ecosystem is bringing in, and all of it stays with your community. That's the difference here. It stays with you inside the community. You guys are building your own ecosystem. There's no investor in here doing it. There's no outside liquidity being added in by the community. You know how other projects, everybody add your liquidity. We're going to give you, a percentage based on transaction fees, blah, blah, blah. It all stays from within the ecosystem itself. That's why it sustains the market value that it does, even with the small community that we have, because it's a self-sustaining economy. Everything you guys do stays here, plus the ecosystem matches it because of how much is in the liquidity vault. We've spent the last 2 years building all of that in, you guys. And so think about it. People that didn't think it was worth it and they sold 443 MQT, 100,000 people, and you're looking at millions of dollars. Let's say it's just the 50,000 people in the community. We never get any higher than that. You're looking at $11,000 market value. Why would it be 25,000? Because it doesn't work like that, right? That's not how the liquidity grows by so many buys, so much. There's a lot of other factors that play into it. So just because I went from 100,000 at $56,000 per token to cut it in half to 50,000, you would think it should be 25,000, but it's not. That's not how it works, because you've got, it builds up its market value in intervals based on demand, yada, yada, yada. Okay. But you still look at that and you're looking at a Titan at 5 million, a Vanguard at 2.5 million a year, a Trailblazer at 1.8 million. I'm sorry, an Explorer. Trailblazer 1.2, and your Navigator's 629,000. If you only mined 55 MoveQuest tokens a year, even if you were using a Titan, you're still looking at over $500,000 a year. You're paying yourself to become the healthiest version of yourself. You will not find a project on the market that leaves 90% of everything you spend inside your liquidity and matches it. That's 180%. I challenge anybody to find me a project that does it. It doesn't exist. MoveQuest is not built on greed. It's built to change lives, and it's built to make as many people wealthy as want to be, and it doesn't take a lot. Everything stays in the system. More than what you spend stays in the system, because all of you who have been here for the last 2 years, you've built up what's in that liquidity vault. You've done that. Every single thing you've done, even your sellers. Come over here and look at, where are we at? The MoveQuest. Think about this, the sellers. You guys should love your sellers from the last 2 years, because if you go look at these contracts, you see that 2.1 million is sitting there. It hasn't even reconciled. It's sitting at $11 million right now. So when people sell it early, the ecosystem gets to buy it low. So when the market value goes up, it's worth even more. When the contracts reconcile on August 1st and all the unmined MQT from the last year is transferred into the liquidity vault, it's going to reach almost 4 million. It's actually a little more than 4 million. I can tell you exactly based on trends. Let's see, that's not what I want to come back over here. I can tell you almost exactly what it will be. Hopefully not boring you guys with my numbers. Let's see, is it this one? It'll have 4,105,357 MQT on August 1st. You guys, that's amazing. You guys have built the stability for the future. In the last 2 years will seem like nothing when you start seeing even $100, $200. I get people that tell me all the time, well, a lot of the people that aren't moving right now or, active, it's because they've seen it at 100, You guys, when it hit $100, that was what, the first couple of weeks after we listed it? The momentum was there. Of course, it's going to go up crazy like that. Then it starts to settle down into its, went down to what, 190, 80, 70 was in there. People were selling like crazy. Why? Because everybody can't believe that a project will actually last as long as you say it will. They didn't understand it. You have to see it work. You have to get that time under your belt. You have to prove it to people. Well, we got 2 years of proof. We got 4 years of building. And so once you just get a little bit of momentum, once this token starts to hit up into the $30, $40, $50 mark, you won't be able to stop it. But you guys, we have to get it to that point, and that's what we're working on. But while we're getting it to that point, we've been just pounding that MQT back into the liquidity vault because of all the selling that was early selling. But that's all good. So even you can't even be disappointed in your sellers because your sellers allowed the ecosystem to absorb all of that MoveQuest, which is just padding your future. And it's still early. Okay. This project, let's just say you were only mining a quarter of that. That's life changing for people. A quarter of 629,000. Okay, so $125,000 you're making just becoming healthy because there's so many people in the project that you can only mine 10 or 12 MoveQuest a year. Hey, I think that's pretty darn good. Some people don't even make that in a salary per year or in their career. So you guys, you're sitting on something pretty powerful. I know, of course, I'm going to be the one that says that because I'm the one that created it. But you got somebody who knows what she is doing. I've been in the crypto space. I have studied it. I have been through all the ups and downs, the bumps, the bruises. I have been hacked. I have been conned and scammed. And I had to learn it all. And I'm the type of person, I will pick everything apart and then I'll put it all back together again. And this is what you have.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. All right. Well, let's grab a couple of these questions before we let everybody go. TMEDC asked the question, how do we establish the number of docs we mine on? I want to add something here real quick before you chime in, Lynette. Lynette is saying doc. Every account has one doc. That doc has 18 available slots. So when she says doc, she's talking about one account. All right. So when you ask the question, how do we establish the number of docs we mine on? Well, you only have one doc, and you can mine with as many miners as you want to mine with because it costs the same to mine with one or 18. Now, you get to choose how many of the 6 available levels you want to mine or submit on per day. That will be your choice, how many levels you want to submit on, and that'll just be based on your budget, your goals, objectives, or whatever the case is at that point. So I hope that answers your question, TM. All right,
Yep,
then
here's the mining doc right here. Can you see it, Herschel?
yes.
So
Yep.
when you unlock your second doc slot, we give you the first one for free. We don't charge you for that. That's why it's 1,700, not 1,800 when I was showing you on the spreadsheet. So you just come in and you unlock these doc slots and you fill them with miners, okay? And your miners are in your dashboard. These are the types of miners, okay? That's a Navigator, Phantom, Trailblazer. This is your Explorer, Vanguard, Titan. So when you have an inventory of miners, then you would fill them up in your mining dock right here. So you would just unlock the slot and then you would tap it and you would fill it with a miner. And inside your app, you can do it too on your phone inside the app once you have the miners in your inventory. And this is one dock right here. So it doesn't matter if you're adding a miner to the free dock slot. You can add that anytime you want. You don't have to unlock the second slot to get this one free. This one's already there. So if you min a miner, you can dock it. That is one miner in that mining dock. This is where you plug your miners into the dock. And that's what starts to generate the hashes. And you can plug in as many as 18 miners into this dock. Whether you have one or whether you have 18, that proof of physical activity submission fee is the same fee. It's charged per dock, not per miner in the dock. Hopefully that gives you more of a visual by seeing it.
Yeah, and I just think that was just a terminology wise, because historically we've always talked about individually, not holistically for that dock. So yes, one dock, 18 slots currently available. Got
Yep.
that. And the overwhelming question, and I know you mentioned at the beginning of the call that you're going to jump off so you can get with Waleed so you can finish getting all of this wrapped up. But the number one question thus far has been, when will this start?
If Waleed's on the call, he's got a pretty good idea now of what I'm doing and how I want it done. I think he could probably answer that, but I believe it won't take long at all. I mean, a few days. I don't think we're not looking at a month down the road. We're looking at just a few days, maybe max, we'll say a week. But I already know it's not going to take him very long because the logic doesn't change a whole ton as to how we're doing it. We're just adding in the levels and people can just, submit per level. So I really don't think it's going to take him that long to do this.
Okay. See. Will we be able to submit more? I know you had previously mentioned the possibility of this, but will we be able to submit on more than once per doc or per account?
No, we're going to keep it just at one, I guess, for right now. Because, I mean, for me, I would love to be able to do that. But logically, I don't know if it really makes sense. I mean, we're going to have the other blockchains that will begin deploying here very soon. You'll be able to submit on those other chains if you want to. I would like to be able to let people do that, pump it up, and get that going. And if it's something that Wally could easily do without it taking a lot of time, then I'm not opposed to it. It wouldn't be something we could do long term because as we continue to grow, we have to make that MQT available on demand, right? So I'm not sure that it really logically makes sense to do that, honestly. Because you know what? If you want to be able to do that, you just need to create a new mining account and add additional mining wallets. And Herschel and them can tell you how to do it. I only use one mining account, but I know people are using more than one. They can probably tell you how to get it set up so you can easily manage that. Then you'd be able to do that on your own anyway. But there are ways to do that. And I don't have a problem with people doing that. I mean, that's not, if you want to do that, you can. The thing is, you have to have more miners, but each one of your new accounts can mine with the phantoms. Those don't cost you anything. So when you create a new mining account, you just connect your phantom miners to that account. So, you could do it without having to spend and mint those miners just by using the free phantoms. So I wouldn't be the person that would be able to tell you how to easily do that because I haven't done it. Believe it or not, simple things are really hard for me to do. I do not know why, but simple things, I will sit here and try to figure it out. It will take me forever, but I know people are doing it and they would be able to explain it. It makes me sound dumb. I'm really not a dumb person. I just can't do the simple things. Simple things confuse me more than the difficult things. For whatever reason, it is what it is. I guess I'm a complex person. Who knows? But I'd be confusing all of you if I tried to show you how to do it. That's why I haven't done it yet, because I really haven't figured out how to effectively do it without driving me nuts.
Drive you nuts. Let's see here. When will we know? When will we know or have an update about the cost of evolving?
We'll be doing that tonight too. So what I'm trying to do is make it so that people can evolve up to those titans before we really get onto our own blockchain. make it a little bit more affordable for people to get powered up on your miners. So when we get done here, that's what I'm meeting with Waleed on. I want to make it a little bit more accessible to our current community to get your Titans. It's wouldn't it be a permanent thing, right, you guys? Because our fees are what our fees are. But I really like to give our current community as much of a break as I can because you guys have been here, right, in the trenches with us for the last, some of you 4 years, a lot of you, for the last couple of years on Avalanche. So it's not a permanent thing. It would just kind of give you that boost for your miners. The other thing too, so to give you an idea on the submitting to get your evolved miners back, you guys, with the challenges starting and being able to lease those miners out, we really want you to have we want to have as many miners accessible to people who are not involved in MoveQuest, right? There's a ton of miners in that graveyard. We don't want to count people out of it either. So I've been thinking on some other ways to do it as well, because this is all your liquidity, right, that goes in there. And you need that liquidity when you start leasing out those miners. That's more people mining. Of course, it's going to be more demand, whatever. But we may just say, okay, from this date to that date, starting now, not backwards. And then you would be able to buy them back per miner. So maybe it'd be $1 a miner or $2 a miner or something like that. So we don't have to drag this out forever. Submit for 30 days. We'll have a button there on August 1st. Everybody would be able to just click the button. Maybe it'll cost you, I don't know how many miners some of you have, but rather than, because you're going to spend probably more than that if you do 120 days worth of submissions. It's not about keeping you engaged, right? You're going to be engaged or you're not going to be engaged regardless. It's about getting as many of those miners back into your account as possible so you can lease them and make even more money, but making them available to other people that could use them that maybe can't afford to buy them or don't want to mint miners. So whatever does come in through that, 100% of that will go into liquidity. It won't, the project won't keep 10% of that because that's just a promotion that we're doing for you guys, or, be able to get those back to you. So, yeah. But there has to be liquidity there to support those miners when people are using it, mining the MQT and yada, yada, yada. So I'm trying to make it as simple as possible and as quick as possible so you guys can start claiming those miners back if you want to. And do it that way. So I'll have more on that. I'm still finishing up that piece while Lead will build that in. But that's why if you think about it, if you evolve right now and you get all your miners evolved that you want to evolve, and then you get them all back, that's like upgrading for free. Okay, if you think about it. So that's what I'm trying to make available to the community, is not have it cost you a ton, but still be able to get all those miners back and still be able to power up your mining power as much as you can between now and August 1st, when we run that final promotion on our 2-year anniversary. There'll be a button there. Boom. You'll click it. You'll claim them. And we'll probably give 30 days beyond that. So we'll probably run it for the entire month of August. So some people, if we do have a 30-day submission or whatever, you guys will be able to get that in, pay whatever little fee it is. It's not going to be massive. We're not going to say, okay, if you have a Titan, you got to spend 20. If you got this, you got to spend that. It's just going to be a fee so that it can be paired to MQT and put into the liquidity pool. So I'll let you know what that is. What else is there? Oh, yeah. So we'll get the evolution done. We'll have that ready for you. Get the mining pool done. Now you guys see how that works. The renewal part into the holding tank. If you don't renew because you are taking up space for people who do want to use it, who do want to farm, who are engaged in the ecosystem, you guys are leaving MQT on the table. If you're just sitting in the hatcheries and you're not renewing your cards, you're not farming MQT, you're not doing yourself any favors, number one. Even if you can't get your rewards in there, I've had people say, well, we're just sitting there because we want to wait for room to open so we can get them all in there. Well, you could be waiting a long time. Renew what you got, take your rewards, throw them in the nest, put them in tier 1 or 2. At least you're farming something. But if you're just taking up space and you're not submitting and you're not farming, there are people who are engaged in this ecosystem that are waiting in that nest to get into that space. And we're going to make sure they can get in there. most of your platforms, like if you go to like Pancake Swap or any of these that do, farming, when your time is up, you're out, you're done. Okay, it's up to you if you go back in again, but you're not taking up space anywhere. Um, Anybody can get in there and do that. Of course, they don't have a limited capacity like we do here because we're limited to how much MQT can be farmed per day, but it's not fair to other people who are waiting. And then some will say, well, it's not fair to me because I'm reserving that spot. I kind of, I can't say I kind of, I don't see your point at all because you've already farmed what you were, staked for. And if you're not doing anything with them now, you're not doing the ecosystem any favors, you're not doing yourself any favors, and you're definitely not doing those who are waiting for that space any favors. So get renewed so that you don't end up in a holding tank.
Right.
And a holding tank, that just means whenever you want to claim them, you can claim them. And if there's space, you can renew them. It's not doing anything with your MQT. It's space. They're still there, but they're not counted in the max balance. So when the card is renewed 30 days or whatever day amount of time that we decide, it would just take them out of the calculation. And if you're taken out of the calculation, yeah, you're still sitting there, but you're not taking up space anymore. And now you have to wait for room, right? So then you'd still have to claim them and go into the nest and wait. Although Waleed is going to make it so that if there's not room, let's say in tier 4, that you can just go into one of the other tiers. You don't have to go back into the nest. So that is an update that he is going to do to the hatchery. So that should make some of you happy. You don't have to go out of the golden hatchery into the nest again. You'll just be able to move into one of the tiers that are available for your extra MQT that there's not space for in whatever tier you're coming out of.
All right.
I had forgot that little tidbit. That's an important little tidbit.
Understood. Yep, it definitely is. Rebecca, when will hatchery renew percentage start? i.e., 75% can be renewed. When will claim price change? Expected launch on, well, we already answered the cool part. So you had mentioned before that at some point, people may only be able to renew in the hatchery with 75%, is what she's asking. Has there been further?
Yep. So as the community grows and there's more demand for the hatchery, then it will start to only allow a percentage to be renewed. So it may start out at 90%. It may start out at 85% or 75, but it won't go below the 75% because that'll leave 25% for others to come in. And it is an anti-whale mechanism, okay, to make sure that it's not just the same people in the hatchery, it cycles out. Now, in that case, when that happens, you would be able to go into one of the lower tiers with your extra, but you wouldn't be able to come into one of the higher tiers, okay? Or not the tier you're in. Now, you have to be in tier 4 to get into tier 5. And if it wasn't written up that way, somebody told me it wasn't, that's the way it was supposed to be written up. It will be in the new update. So that is also a prereq to get into tier 5. You would have to be in tier 4 first in order to get to tier 5. So that's another reason for that, percentage there, because you need people to cycle into the golden hatchery and keep everything rotating. And like I said, it's just an anti-whale mechanism to make sure you don't have a small group of people taking advantage of the higher tiers with nobody else being able to come in. It keeps the flow balanced and makes sure that the ecosystem stays stable.
Got it. All right. Miss Lisa says, what type of marketing will you be doing? You mentioned earlier in the call.
We're going to start out with social media and on some of the scanners. So like on the Binance Smart Chain, like if you go to the BSC scan or if you go to Snow Trace or Snow Scan, you see the little banner ads. We're going to do it on some of the DEX exchanges as well. Just a little blurb ads and just kind of test the waters and see what kind of conversion we get from that. and then we'll expand from there. But we're kind of starting out a little bit small, test the waters to see what really has a pull first. But mainly to get out there so people see us over and over and over and over. That consistent MoveQuest everywhere.
And Beth wanted clarification on, she says, we must submit all 6 levels to get the hatchery rewards. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct. And it's lower than what you're spending right now on your proof of physical activity submissions. So there should be no complaints from that.
$1.36.
Yep.
Got it.
Now, like I said, if you heard, I said that I don't like to overpromise, underdeliver. So I'm saying right now on this call, all 6 levels. That doesn't mean that over the next couple of days while we're finalizing this stuff, if it makes sense to say only, you only have to do levels 1 through 4, we may be able to back those down. But right now, just for the sake of somebody say, well, you said, we're just saying all 6, but that doesn't mean that over the next couple of days while we're working out the math, to make sure that it's doable, we may say only, you have to qualify for the hatchery, you have to do levels 1 through 4 or levels 1 through 5. But I will guarantee it wouldn't be any lower than levels 1 through 4. The hatchery rewards are so extensive that the liquidity needs to be there to support your hatchery rewards. So I know some people were like, okay, I'll submit with 1 navigator. We're talking about that. Or 1 trailblazer for the hatchery pool. But you got to think about all that MQT that you are farming. And the ecosystem has to support that too. It's a different algorithm, but it is still nonetheless there. And it has to all equate and it has to all balance out. But if you think about it, even with your navigators, if even Trailblazers is $1.80. So your navigators, if you're mining with 18 navigators, was 90 cents. So if you're looking at this and the hatchery, $1.36 per day, that's nothing. And I'm going to have the hatchery calculator too, so people can see what that equates to, whether you're 30-day, 75-day, 135 days, 222, or the 323 days, based on what your deposit is. Those hatcheries are extremely rewarding. They very, very, very high reward levels with the compounding, and it doesn't mean you have to deposit, $1,000 worth of MoveQuest for it to benefit you. That's very small amount of MoveQuest compounding wise, and it just depends on how long you're letting it compound and how many cycles you're going to do. But it's all part of the ecosystem.
All right. Julie says, but with the blockchains being launched, wouldn't leasing make more sense to do than mining on each chain comparatively?
If the demand is there, yeah.
And that's
I mean, that's
key.
what I would do. I would lease them out. And that's what we're working towards right now is building that demand. But if people's miners weren't leased out, you're on a different blockchain and you wanted to submit for the extra MQT, you could definitely do that.
You can do both.
Again, it's all choices, you guys. It's all your own. You make all the decisions yourself. Isn't that the beautiful thing about a really, truly decentralized platform? It's all in your hands. You make the decisions. We don't make them for you.
Okay, and I want to make sure this is clear. Kathy, she says she's not understanding what a level is. It hasn't been implemented yet. So when when you go to submit, you don't see it. Once it's implemented here within the next week or so, it will be clearly visible as to the 6 different levels, and you'll be able to make a decision on which of the 6 individually or collectively you would like to submit on each day or what have you. So it's just a tiered way to be able to determine what it's going to cost you to submit that day, where you get
And
to pick.
according to Waleed, when we were discussing this, So let's say I only submitted this morning with levels 1 through 3, but then at the end of the day, I decided I wanted to come back and submit 4, 5, and 6. You would be able to come back and do that again. And it's if you change your mind, you'll be able to submit on all levels. So maybe you only submitted on levels 1 and 2 this morning, and you're like, oh, tonight I want to finish. You'll be able to go back and still submit the additional 4 levels in the pool. It's one pool, 6 levels. And when it shows up on your app to submit, you'll just choose levels 1. I want to do, you'll just check it 1 through 2 or 1 through 6 or 1 through 4. And then it'll add it all up for you and you'll submit it with one button. So you won't have to submit 6 times. It'll be one submission based on what you choose.
And what we're talking about, Miss Kathy, this is separate and apart from the hatchery. So yes, if you're in level 4 or tier 4 hatchery, it's separate and apart, something totally different than the levels or the tiers we're currently talking about in respect to daily submissions. 2 separate things that will be clearly 2 things. One, once it's officially implemented, we will make sure that we give visual examples here on either a Tuesday or Thursday call. And when you log into the app, it will be clearly visible as to the difference between the 2 and what you're doing at that time. So it'll be there'll be clear instructions. Go ahead.
Mining, farming are 2 different things, but you have to mine in order to get your farming reward. So that proof of physical activity submission that you make, it mines MQT from the mining pool. And when you make that submission, if you're in the hatchery, it also farms your reward for that day as well. The only thing that's going to change is instead of the pool having one pool, same fee, not everybody can afford the same fee. We broke that mining pool into 6 levels so that people can choose what they can afford. So they don't have to undock miners. See, when you have to undock miners to manage your submission fee, you lose mining power, which gives you less power means less MQT that you can mine. So we wanted to separate the 2. So you have your proof of physical activity submission fee per dock. Doesn't matter what type of miner or how many miners. It's just one proof of physical activity fee. You submit it. It validates your physical activity that your tracker says you did today. That generates your hashes. It mines that MQT. At the same time, it also qualifies your farming reward. Totally separate, but work together. Hopefully that made sense.
So the 6 levels, and I just responded to that, you submitting on the 6 levels is the equivalent of what you're doing right now when you submit. You're just going to be given options to submit in the very near future.
Yep. And it's actually allowing more MQT to be mined as we grow per day. I really want more MoveQuest to be able to go out into circulation. And so by having lower fees, it should collectively allow more people to submit and be able to bring in more MoveQuest into circulation. But the algorithm, the math on the algorithm is slightly different. And so it doesn't affect the liquidity pool. It actually beats the liquidity pool up. You should see the liquidity injected quicker and higher. So it's a good thing. It's a lower amount of MQT in the beginning because the community is smaller. But as the community grows, it's submitting or it's releasing more of the MQT. See, 1150 can go out a day with 5,000 submissions. If you have 1,000 submissions, it's only 230 that's going out per day. But it's going to allow more liquidity to go in faster because the ecosystem there won't be so much in circulation that the ecosystem is waiting for the market to go down. I know maybe all of it doesn't make sense, and I'm not even going to try to explain all the mechanics behind it. Less MQT in circulation means more liquidity in the pool. So it is less going out. That's why you really want to utilize the hatchery. But as we grow, then more is going into circulation, but it's not making your fee increase. So it's more value. So as the community grows, you're actually going to have more value there in the MQT that you're mining, because you can see it goes from 200 and something to 1150 MQT in circulation. And we've got 10,000 people that own miners right now. Okay. Your fee, you'd have 2,300 a day going out, but your fee stays, it didn't increase your fee. But you're getting more MoveQuest. And that's a huge jump from, 1,000 submissions. You got 230 versus 2,300. So you're not going to see the amount of MoveQuest it's probably going to increase for you even as the community is growing, because more is going out. But the liquidity itself is beefing up faster. So it's kind of putting it in, I don't know, hyper mode. That little tweak in the algorithm, it doesn't have a negative impact, but it does inject liquidity faster.
Miss Rebecca says, how about a Vanguard upgrade to Titan Special, please?
Well, I did talk to Waleed about that, and it would be a complete overhaul and a rewrite of the evolution contract. And every time I have him rewrite contracts, it just puts us behind on the other things that we want to move to. So I pretty much opted not to do that because we really are on a time constraint. And anything that slows us down right now is kind of critical. Like we really can't afford a slow down time. We need to be moving quickly at a very fast pace so we stay on target for our summer dates.
Right. And I believe we've answered this one. Not sure if it came in afterward, but looking to start the levels here within the next few days, possibly be conservative within the next week. That should be active and live.
Yeah, because
Um,
I'm done with the math and the algorithm now. Now it's just a matter of Waleed implementing it. When he has to wait on me on algorithms and math and calculations, it takes a long time. I'm done with that part now.
when does the holding tank go into effect?
I would say probably in the next couple of weeks. He would have maybe even less than that. It may even be within a week. And at that time, we would start the countdown, whether it be 14 days or 30 days. Personally, myself, I think 7 days is plenty. I don't think 30 is even, in my opinion, I think that's way too long. If you're submitting every day and you're in the hatchery, you know when that card is done, and you should renew it within 7 days. So it just depends on what mood I'm in the day that he does that contract. If I'm in my, 7 days is more than enough if they're paying attention. I don't think people need 30 days. I'm not one of these back patters, rub your back. Okay, we'll give you 30 days to come back and think about it. I'm like, you know what? Get in here, get it done, and let's get going. That's the kind of person I am. So you probably will, knowing me, it'll probably be a 7 day window. Like your card is done. You have 7 days to make a decision. If it was up to me, I'd say 2 or 3, but we'll be nice and at least do a 7 day grace. I really don't see me doing a 30, even though I can't tell you how many people have messaged me and said, well, I really think it should be 30. And I'm sitting here thinking, really? Why? If I put something in the microwave and that timer goes off, guess what? I go get my coffee or my food out of that microwave. It doesn't sit there for 30 days until I think about going to do it.
Let
So
me
why
ask
would
you,
you want to do that with a hatchery?
let me ask you this in reference to that, just out of curiosity. Is it possible, I believe it is it possible to put an alarm on the hatchery where it actually in the app sends a notification when the hatchery your specific hatchery has matured?
Yeah, I'm sure. I
And then
mean, we
that
could
way
send
we could say there's
we could send out a whole, yeah, we could send out a lot more notifications. What we do, we just don't want to bother people,
well, I was just
so we
speaking in
don't.
terms of these hatcheries now if okay, 7 day, let's say it is a 7 day, then you get a notification, boom, it matured, and then now, okay, nothing's been done, 3 days left, you get another notification every day until, some. I just wanted to kind of have a middle ground there with an effort to reach the people in case they sick or at work or traveled or whatever the case
I'm
may
sure it
be.
can be done.
There's a reminder of some sort to, ooh, go do that.
I'm
Um,
sure it can be done.
okay.
We will do our best. I'm sure it can. I mean, we've got the in-app notifications and all the stuff we need to do that, so I don't see why that would be a problem. I mean, we can remind you, right, to submit. So I don't know why we can't remind you to renew. But I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest with you, when I'm involved in something like this, and everybody should be that way. This is you're managing. This isn't like it's not like we're playing Monopoly, right? This is real world. If you guys really get serious about this, you should pretty much know what you're doing without a notification. But yes, we can, I'm sure, give out those reminders. You gotta understand you manage this whole thing on your own. So you gotta take some accountability too. So if we can't do it, you guys will have to understand. But if we can, we absolutely will. And I don't see a reason why we can't. But if for some reason Waleed comes back and tells me we can't notify you because it's blockchain or yada yada yada, then I'll let you guys know. But I don't see why we couldn't.
Sure.
You guys never know when this is all said and done. I may have just taught all of you guys to be like like I am. Can you imagine a MoveQuest community of kind of people? I don't know how else to put it. I don't want to say I'm crabby because I'm not crabby, but I'm just kind of like So if I had all of you guys doing that, oh my gosh, I wonder what that would look like. You guys are so much nicer, more calm, and patient than I am. I don't have those kind of patience. I don't even want to learn to have those kind of patience. I think life would be kind of boring like that. I don't like to be patient. I like to do. Go, 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 go.
Let's see. Let's take three more and so we can let everybody have the rest of their evening because they keep coming. All right. Let's see here. Randy, I'm finna send you a message for clarification on that part. Um, let's see. Does it hold the time? Let's go down. Um, oh yeah, to submit all 6 polls with one click. When on the tiers, the 1 through
Mm-hmm.
6, will
Mm-hmm.
that be multiple clicks or will they be able to select all of them at one time and just click one time?
One click.
One click. Perfect. Um, just getting in from an appointment. I need to get that replay. Oh, okay. All right. That's something else. Have we any update on have we any update on the claims price changing to the 10 cents per day?
I thought it was already changed. Has it not been changed?
Um, I ain't claim. Let's see.
I may just remove that altogether.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Um,
The only reason we had the claim fee on there was to kind of deter people. Like, if you're not going to sell it, just leave it sit, right, in that contract. But now that we have the hatcheries going, it's really not. Most people just move, they claim to move into the hatchery. So let me think on that a little bit. If it hasn't been changed, I'll have them change it, but I'll see if we can knock that fee out. You still have to pay the um, blockchain, the transaction fee, but not Charlie. Oh, Charlie. The dogs come in to say hello.
Well, Miss Lynette, you said it was going to be a short one, so we're going to go ahead and keep it short.
Yeah, right. This was 2 hours long. There's nothing short about this.
And we're going to go ahead and let everybody have the rest of their evening. Randy, I just sent you a message if
I'm
you
done.
check that out or whatever. Unfortunately, you have been telling them correctly, but there are some small caveats to that. That's all. Um, Let me see here.
So is everybody excited? Like, are you guys happy with this? Is this making sense to everybody? That's what I want to make sure is that everybody gets this and they are happy with it.
More
I
for
do my
less.
best to keep things as
More for
low as I
less.
can. Yes, more for less.
More for less makes sense. Let's go. Um, it's going to make a whole lot more sense once we see it. Once people see it, it's going to be a lot easier than it may sound explaining it. I'm sure of that. And we're going to keep it rocking and rolling. So, with that being said, everyone, we're going to go ahead and let you retire to the rest of your evening. For those of you that are currently in the challenge, like myself, that still needs to get their workout in for the day. I got the sleep right. I got the meals right. Now I'm finna go get the workout in and I'll be in bed before 11. So, hope everybody else has set their goals or is working on setting their goals and sharing what those goals are in advance with whether it's the community, friends, family, people around you, so that you have actually spoken it into existence and then we put forth the work to bring it into existence for real. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and call it, and we will see everyone on the next one. Good night, everybody.
Yep. Good night, everybody.
Locking. Yeah. First set, I walk in cold. Bottle fogged up, eyes on gold. Wrist wraps tight, chalk on my hands. One more plate, I'm raising the stand. Coach said move, I said say let's. Clean reps.
We can't go out like that. We can't go out like that.
Yeah. Break it up. Lock it. Woo. Lock it. Yeah. First set, I walk in cold. Bottle fogged up, eyes on gold. Wrist wraps tight, chalk on my hands. One more plate, I'm raising the stand. Coach said move, I said say let's. Clean reps only, that's the test. I don't fuck when the lungs burn red. I chase that finish inside my head. For more than forget. Deep breath, now drive it in. Grip hard, don't you slip. I want that burn, I want that hit. Rack it up, all day, all day. Lock it in, go, 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 go. Hardcore, I don't play. Put in work, then walk away. Rack it up, one more set. Lock it in, no regret. Hardcore, hear me say, earn that sweat every day. Leg day calls, I answer fast. Spaces up, let the numbers crash. No weak form, no lazy frame. I'm built on grind, not hype or fame. Plate by plate, I stack that low. Short resting, I reload. My crew say, bro, that's savage, yeah. I say bet, then I add two more. Four more, then forget. Deep breath, now drive it in. Grip hard, don't you slip. I want that burn, I want that hit. Rack it up, all day, all day. Lock it in, go, 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 go. Hardcore, think I still advance. Still got fire in my stance. One last push, one last roar. I came for more. I came for more. I came for more. Rack it up, all day, all day. Lock it in, lock it in. Go, 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 go. Hardcore. I don't play, put in work, then walk away. Rack it up. One more sip. Lock it in, lock it in. No, don't regret. Hardcore. Hear me say, earn that sweat every day.
Wake it up, lace it up.
Yeah. Wake it up. Lace it up, lace it up. Turn it up, tighten up. Hey. Reps on the rack, numbers on the screen. Every single squat feeds the machine. Sweat on the floor, data in the veins. Power in my stride, charging up the gains. Push through the burn, feel the meters climb. Every clean form, every perfect time. Body has a rig, motion has a code. Stronger every set, level in the low. Tighten up, let the muscle mind. Every move turning effort into shine. Step, lift, breathe, watch the counter up. Highest power on the block when we tighten up. Tighten up, feel the system sing. Each deep lunge like a fuel-rich link. Built from grit, never out of luck. We don't give in, we just tighten up. Tighten up. Wake at the dawn, hit another round. Calories to credits in the battleground. Friends in the gym, crew on the app. All of us align on the same roadmap. Straps on the bar, heartbeat in a race. Chasing bigger stats while we shape this place. Steel in my core, fire in my lungs. Every single rep pays out in the long run. Yeah. Tighten up, let the muscle mind. Every move turning effort into shine. Step, lift, breathe, watch the counter up. Highest power on the block when we tighten up. Tighten up, feel the system sing. Each deep lunge like a fuel-rich link. Built from grit, never out of luck. We don't give in, we just tighten up. Stack that string. Go to length up. Earn that crown. We don't power down. Tighten up, let the muscle mind. Every move turning effort into shine. Step, lift, breathe, watch the counter up. Highest power on the block when we tighten up. Tighten up, feel the system sing. Each deep lunge like a fuel-rich link. Built from grit, never out of luck. We don't give in, we just tighten up. Tighten up. Tighten up. Tighten up.
A mountain ahead, but I'm ready to climb. One step at a time. The mirror's my rival, the mirror's my friend. It's me versus me till the end. Rise up, take the challenge, break the chain, push the limit on the floor. Rise up, rise up, rise up, take the challenge, break the chain, push the limit on the floor. Rise up, rise up, rise up. whisper. Try to pull you down. Stay strong. Readjust your crown. Change your lane, MoveQuest is a brand new game. No finish line, the only limit is the one in your mind. Rise up. Rise up. Take the challenge, break the chain. What's the limit on the pain? Rise up. Rise up. Rise up. Take the challenge, break the chain. What's the limit on the pain? Rise up. Rise up.
Anyone interested in making sure that they have all of the MoveQuest community songs, feel free to go to MoveQuestChallenges.com. MoveQuestChallenges.com. Go to more and click MoveQuest Music. You go to MoveQuest Music, you can have a complete playlist and go to the gym, go on your walk, sit around the house, or whatever you want. All the songs, back to back, ready to go. Everybody have a wonderful evening. See you on the next one.